The union. The union in the building, man. Right now, we don't have DME. DME is somewhere right now in a leopard bikini that nobody want to think about on the beach.
DME's making money right now.
We just don't know how. So right now, it's just me and Visuel. Make sure you subscribe to both our channels. Make sure you hit the alert bell as well, all right? So you guys can get as many alerts as possible. I've seen people hitting me up lately telling me they haven't been getting alerts, and they have hit the alert bell. So some of you guys, if you haven't, I think DME already explained this shit. If you haven't watched somebody in a little while, after a while, you don't get after a while, it's like you don't get a fucking alert. Like, I don't know how to explain this shit, but it's all the YouTube type shit. So if you haven't watched me, if you haven't watched my channel or Visuel's channel in a little while, I guess after a while they stop giving you the alerts like that.
Yeah, the algorithm thinks you're not interested anymore, so it stops kind of bringing it up and shit.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that that's the reason. So make sure you're checking in on us, all three of us, all the time, seeing what we got going on. So let's get into the topic. I'm very fucking annoyed, but I just want to really be clear about something. Like, it's really not my intent to offend anybody. I have a feeling I'm going to, but it's really not my intent. So with that said, just understand what I say is my opinion. It ain't necessarily Visuel's opinion, and it isn't DME's opinion. In fact, if you don't hear them saying it, don't hold them accountable for what the fuck I say. You know, we're gonna talk about all this restore order shit that I'm seeing showing up again. You know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is, I don't think I have really a popular opinion. But for all you people paying attention and listening, do me a favor. Before you get really upset about what I'm saying, for the most of you, because it's like two of you who's gonna get mad and I really don't give a fuck. But for the rest of you, what I really want is for you to listen to what I'm saying. Don't just hear me. Listen to what I'm saying so you understand why I feel the way I feel. Because I'm not trying to offend the majority of you. You know, like I said, it's like two or three who I'm going to mention. I don't give a fuck if they get mad or not. The rest, that's not what I want. It's not my intent. So I want you to really pay attention to what I'm saying so you can get my point. So, matter of fact, out the gate, let me just say, I'm going to also mention Capology, Hollis L Radio, salute to him. But I'm going to talk about him. I'm going to talk about Harlem Fresh, salute to him. 125, that's my dude. But in all, I'm going to just address some things. And my intent is not to offend you guys. Both the guys who I mentioned, I am not trying to offend you. I hope you don't get offended, but I need you to just listen to what I'm saying and understand my point. All right? So for the last few months, you know, you see the deposit situations going on. You see people fucking using bottles and battles and hitting people with it, fake glass bottles. You see people picking up other people in the air like a gun and all this shit. So you see this whole restore order shit happen. Then it died out. You know what I'm saying? Now for the last week or so, it's the whole shit with Prez Mafia going on. The whole shit with NJT going on. It's the whole shit with Rome with the fucking channels, and then you have the other situation which may or may not be true, or all the details may not be out there about B Magic, supposedly with an issue with deposits. You have people taking drugs in the middle of fucking battles. Well, actually, all he did was taste it. He shouldn't have did it either, but all he did was taste it.
Come on, man. You put a plate of cupcakes in front of Big T. He's gonna...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I mean, the person who gave him the coke, you should be just as mad as him, at him, like your fan. Like, why would you do that? Why? I understand he was trying to catch a viral moment or really trying to capture the room doing that shit. But if you're gonna be mad at QP, you also be mad at who gave it to him. You know what I'm saying?
It looked like his opponent dipped in first. Am I wrong or?
Nah, I think he was just sprinkling the bag on the plate.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the footage isn't all that clear. I posted it. as well. But here's my point. The reason why I'm not this time around, I'm not fully with the Restore Order shit, is because I see a lot of people talking about it in their tweets 1 minute, and then the next minute, let that person have a good performance or anything of that sort, and they back with it. Then you got leagues. It's a league right now who has I don't know if it's Milltown Blows League or he's just hosting it. I can't remember, but they just booked Prez Mafia and both the QPs for an event in October. You have leagues all over, smaller leagues. Like, they can't really afford the big name guys. So yeah, they're gonna go in and take a risk on guys who have bad reputations. But at the same time, like, if you these leagues, how many times are you gonna keep doing this shit? You think you the exception? Why do you think you the fucking exception? You're not the exception. When it comes to, and this is where I say I'm not trying to offend Capology, I'm not trying to offend Harlem Fresh. Those, you know, I salute both them guys. I want to see them continue to do what they're doing. My frustration with them is y'all going hard with Restore Order, but a lot of people y'all tagging and all that shit do fuckery in battle rap. Let's be real. Me and DME go back and forth about Angry Fan all the fucking time. We were just going back and forth in a conversation me and him just had. And I'm going to tell you right now, I understand what people are saying. Oh, well, Angry Fan has some of these interviews. Fuck all of that. Let's talk about all the money he fucking stole. And DME just told me, oh, he did a blog explaining some of it. You're right. He explained some of it. Some of it. I didn't listen to that bullshit. You know why? I knew he wasn't going to tell y'all all the truth. And even more so, I don't give a fuck what his reasoning was. Did he give that money back to the people? Did Battle Truth give the money back to the people? Y'all sitting there tagging people, and I'm not saying specifically Capology or Harlem tag Battle Truth, but they tagged Angry Fan. Y'all tagging Young Sir. The fuck out of here. That little bitch, that's one of the main culture vultures out here, chipmunk looking motherfucker. And you really gonna sit here and be tagging that dude? And then you talking about Restore Order? How are you saying that when this is who you tagging? The other part is I'm seeing people all over social media, whether it be Facebook, whether it be motherfucking Twitter. I'm rarely ever on Facebook, and that's a big reason why also. I'm in one battle rap group on Facebook. I rarely ever go in that room because, like, yo, I see people, it's like they talk Restore Order, but then defend another dude who's doing some fuckery. It's like they have an issue with Prez Mafia, but don't have an issue with NJT. They want to sit there and say, oh, well, he had to have a good enough excuse. What the fuck you mean he had a you mean all 15 times? Every time he may or may not have stole a ball, every time he may or may not have recycled the ball, every time he may or may not fucking jerseyed and straight choked in small leagues and all of that, when he turned around and told the people, if you're not one of my true fans, suck a dick or some wild shit like that. Then you have people who go in on him, but sit there and say, oh, well, when it comes to QP, you know, he sniffed coke, so if you give him coke, it shouldn't be a problem. No, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that has to be across the board. You can't pick and choose.
Well, they shouldn't have brought the shit out for him. You know how they put bait trucks, and it's getting like it's controversial now, like make it illegal to be able to put out like a bait truck that you know people are gonna walk by and steal from. It's illegal to do that because
it should be.
Yeah, because it's encouraging, like, you know, well, there's a whole lot of shit with that, but it's kind of the same. You shouldn't have brought the freaking plate out.
Yeah, but even more though, what about the league owners who like, you have the situation with and I don't want to go too much into it because, you know, I don't, but whatever. Like, even Trap New York and Snake Eyes, They have their issues over a fucking deposit. But then I see other people talking about, well, URL's the only league that counts. So what the fuck are you talking about? It's Restore Order or it's not. Like, you can't pick and choose when it's okay and when it's not. I don't understand it. Then I see people upset about it only when they pay for a pay-per-view. Or this dude didn't show up to initiation, I'm mad. Okay, but then you're not mad that he did it to close combat because you didn't buy the pay-per-view, so you didn't give a fuck. Like, yo, like, how does it make sense? And let me tell you something, just going back to Angry Fan for a minute there. This dude has disrespect. You know how many hosts he's been through? Co-hosts? He has disrespected the shit out these dudes. Did y'all forget all the shit he said to Black Ice Cartel?
Yeah, it's pretty apparent. He's been through a good amount of stages where there was different co-hosts and stuff. So it's no surprise that they're not with him anymore, and reasons behind that, because it's been blown out of proportion for every time that there's been a new stage.
But let me ask you though, it's clearly him. And here's my point. For a man to sit there and tell Black Ice Cartel, who the specific one was the female, pregnant female at the time and all of that, the man went on a whole fucking rant on social media telling him to suck his dick and all kind of crazy shit.
Yeah, he goes over the top sometimes.
But then let him put out an interview they like, is all is forgiven. But then that's the same motherfucker who took all y'all money for t-shirts for a fucking boat event that never happened. If you ask him about it on social media, he fucking blocks you.
Now, Jay, I mean,
hold on, but let me just finish, Visual. I'm gonna let you go. He does all that shit. Still has not given these people their fucking money back, but then goes on whole rants, does blogs, and does interviews talking about motherfuckers stealing deposits. How is that different? He took $5,000. How the fuck is that different? Oh, man. Go ahead, Visual. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
You're absolutely right, and you can look at it that way. You can look at it like one was paid for a performance, and the money that you're talking about for him was all donation. To do, well, first of all, there were multiple parties involved, and I'm not going into his side of the story. I don't give a fuck about that whole mess. I don't care about that 4 or 5 Gs. I don't give a shit. But there was multiple people involved, people that were supposed to set up the event. Caps wasn't doing any of this shit like on his own. There was people encouraging and saying, this is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. So he wasn't the only one involved. Blog Talk, costs money. He's been on it for quite a while.
But here's the thing. When he started, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll get into that. Go ahead.
So a good portion of that money you can put for the services of Blog Talk throughout a good amount of time. He's been on the radio for a while. If you add that up yearly, probably surpasses some shit.
So now
he has his own personal shit. That's donation money to do what he pleases to better.
But not at the time, Visual.
He doesn't have to. Problem. But I'm putting myself in those shoes. I'm not gonna give you receipts. I'm not giving people the receipts. I'm overall bettering my situation so I could be more comfortable to give you content. That's what a lot of donations and shit. What do you like? I got equipment and stuff. Some shit needs to be replaced, but for the most part, I'm good. I have to work my ass off. I don't have time to do content. So the money helps free up some of that time. Maybe you can take more time off because you got a little side money. And with that time, you create more. You have that time to create your content. But all I'm saying is there's some of that money that he can do as he please. That's donation money to him.
I don't have no problem with what you just said in terms of the donations, etc. But here's the thing. when you're asking for donations for something specific and you don't use it for that, I have a fucking problem with that. I have a problem with that. Let me give you an example.
You're talking about the event. There was like
Yeah, that's what people was donating for.
Yeah, that specifically had to do with some other people too.
It doesn't even matter though, because well, they
look at Cass.
like
No disrespect to Cass, but he's not organizing any of this shit. People
doesn't matter.
gotta be an idiot to think Cass is behind all this fucking checking places to rent and for the weekends and all. Like, hell no.
As well, it doesn't even matter.
Smoking a blunt, drinking a 40.
It doesn't even matter, and I'm gonna tell you why. People are donating because it's you. They're not donating because you have behind the scenes people. They're donating because it is you, and you told it's like fucking Battle Truth. If he's sitting there telling you,
no, I don't even think that whole resort thing had to do with that donation money. I think that was separate. I remember it being like,
but that's my point. Well, you're making my point for me. It's not one time that it happened. It's not one time, and a motherfucker go out there and put out some shit talking about, oh, these are donations. Fuck you. That's not how it all happened. Because back then I used to listen to him. Like yo, my man, like who you pulling the fucking sheets over whose face? You have battle rappers who asked what happened. You know how many people got blocked just for asking or asking if they're gonna get a refund on their money? It's like Battle Truth out here asking for people to donate for a fucking video game or the game board or whatever the fuck it is. If you're telling me I'm donating for this and this doesn't happen, why would I? Number one, either I'm giving everybody their fucking money back, or I'm giving you. I'm gonna automatically come out to you once everything isn't going the way it's supposed to. I'm coming up to you and telling you, yo, look, this is what happened. You know, if there's a way for me to give everybody their money back, that's what I'm gonna do. Donating to my channel and donating for a cause isn't the same thing. Like I was saying, I know somebody who asked people to help donate to a funeral. They were looking for around $10,000. When the money exceeded $10,000, they took some of the money and went clothes shopping and stuff like that. A lot of people had a problem with that. And here's the thing. If you asked for $10,000 and people gave you $12,000, clearly you could sit there and, because you could give people updates like Math be doing about the whole thing with his brother. Math always giving people updates. You can put it out and tell everybody, yo, we reached our goal. Thank you, everybody. Boom, boom, boom. Because some people ain't paying attention to that. They just donate. Man, when it exceeded all of that, you could ask people, yo, fam, y'all want your money or whatever the fuck. You don't sit here and just be quiet about the situation. You damn sure don't go shopping and be posting that shit on social media. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of these dudes, I'm only saying all that to say this. If you don't, it's like right now, I can't get donations to my channel. The other day we did a union blog and there was somebody in our union blog asking if they could donate to us. But neither you or I have a super chat. So at the end of the day, this is what it boils down to. If that's the case, fam, if somebody's just donating to your channel, then do whatever the fuck you want to do with the money. You earn that. But when you tell somebody it's for a specific cause and you don't do that, you tell people it's for shirts that they never received, merchandise that you say you were going to make and you never did, fucking albums that you never made, board games you never made, TV shows you never did, recording equipment you never bought. I got a fucking problem with that, especially when you're out here talking about people stealing deposits and everything. How the fuck is that any different than what you do? When you run around looking for hot topics to throw out there just for views and views equal money for you, how is that not the same thing? This motherfucker went and put a bunch of blogs out about Christian bias. Was out here on social media. That's where me and him fell out initially. Well, that was the last straw actually, because whatever. The whole shit is your fam. You waking up every day, screenshotting, going on a fucking website to check this man's charges, and was doing blogs about it. My nigga, I'm gonna tell you right now, if that man got out today, there's a rumor that he's out, but who fucking knows? If that man got out today and it was proven that he is innocent, are you going to spend the same amount of time saying he's fucking innocent? But we know this fucking view vulture. What he's going to do is he's going to sit there and he's going to ask for an interview and act like he was on the side. That little bitch, that little chick motherfucker, young M.A., he going to run out there doing the same shit. How you got that motherfucker talking about Restore Order, or you tagging him in Restore Order, guys, Harlem Fresh, Capology? How are you tagging him in shit when this dude has live stream pay-per-views that he didn't pay for, bootleg a whole bunch of them? Then when he got caught, he's telling people, oh, well, I only posted it because I want the URL to see it. URL don't follow you, motherfucker. When he's posting y'all content, he go on y'all shit, he screen records and reposts y'all content. What the fuck are we talking about here? And you talking about Restore Order? It's the same dude who went and told everybody that Mav didn't want to give him his change for a fucking CD, right? The dude waited till the whole event was over, went and sat in a motherfucking car and did a blog talking greasy. Talking shit like he was going to do something to Mav. Why you ain't do all that shit when he was right there? Not to mention, this dude running around telling everybody, oh, I've been on all the top radio shows. Did you know he was doing nothing but dick riding, jumping dick to dick? He was originally middle finger. What happened with that? What happened with that? Then on the low started recording his own little show and putting it out on the low on topics they were supposed to do on fucking middle finger radio. What about that? Are we speaking about that? But nah, let me guess though. He's still Restore Order, right? That don't got nothing to do with Restore Order? That don't? Like, fuck out of here with all. Like, y'all can't pick and choose what's Restore Order and what's not, man. And don't sit here and be involved with people who have questionable backgrounds about shit. And then think that somebody like myself, and I'm not saying that they give a fuck whether I'm involved or not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying even Danny Myers to a degree. When I interviewed Danny Myers and we talked about Restore Order on my interview with him, at the time, I didn't know that he was a regular or he was a co-host of Angry Bro. I didn't know that. I thought that he just, did an interview, whatever the fuck. Or I would have asked him at the time, how are you saying Restore Order, but you a co-host to this dude? Here's another one. That little chick who be out here starting drama with everybody, I Smoke. He was all up. I don't even really have an issue with I Smoke. Even though he went into our lives when we was in Mass for a weekend and was saying a bunch of gay shit, a bunch of whatever. That's another dude out here streaming shit on his channel, stealing sporting events, throwing it on his channel, starting problems with everybody, then apologizing, snitching on his brother, which I need to go and see what's popping with that shit, and flagging people's channels.
Oh, I never
Dude had a bunch of backup channels and was going on different pages under different names. This is another dude who's on here putting out videos talking about people stealing deposits and all kind of crazy shit. Like, who the fuck are you? How can you have people who have such questionable reputations? How do you allow them? How do you allow them to dictate the conversation on some Restore Order shit? How? I don't fucking get it.
Well, to me, it's to the point where I'm not even going to talk about that, like deposits and stuff. I'm not going to get into money issues and what the business is between them. That doesn't fucking concern me. Either I'm going to see you on that platform or not. If you're doing shit behind the scenes, it's noted, but I'm not going to dive into it. Y'all want to be stupid and keep booking the same people that keep burning people? Hey, you probably deserve it.
At this point, it's hard to argue that they don't deserve it. But here's the other point. I do feel like all of us as battle rap supporters, we should all together and come to a decision. We're not supporting a card. I'm not supporting a pay-per-view and it's hard to do because that person's not the only one on the battle, on the card. If MC Bullet Holes decides to no-show a bunch of people and then URL wants to put them on there on a fucking gnome, and the guys I really want to watch is on that gnome, it's hard not to support that card when he's just that one guy. You understand? But it's necessary to do that because the leagues do, especially the bigger leagues, URL the most, because URL's whole attitude is they don't give a fuck what anybody does on any platform as long as they don't do it on theirs. They've been vocal about that. Smack has even said that. Smack has said out his own mouth. He don't care what anybody does on another platform as long as they don't do it on theirs. When the whole good situation happened, Smack said that shit out his own mouth.
This is why Restore Order is an independent move. You can't expect a company like the URL, which is the biggest battle league, they like to do what they want to do, be on their own time. You're gonna tell them they're not gonna participate. I don't think they are.
No, of course not. But and you shouldn't expect them to. They should. You shouldn't expect them to. But when you stop supporting these cards, they're gonna feel it. Especially when they start asking why and people are vocal about why. What I'm saying is, don't tell me you're not supporting an RBE card because of QP. You're not supporting that because you saw QP on a press conference. Because of that, you refuse to buy a pay-per-view. But then you'll buy the URL one when you see NJT on there after all he's done. You'll go to one of your local shows because a Prez Mafia, whoever's supposed to go, you'll still support that. But you won't do it because of this, like, you can't pick and choose. It's either that across the board or it's not. When a motherfucker's sitting there and like I said, breaking fake glass bottles over somebody's head in a battle, you should be even telling the league owners, which I did on the Facebook group. The league owners was there when I was saying it. I was like, yo, fam, y'all shouldn't even put that footage out.
Some of that stuff, Jay, it's a little gray on what is acceptable as an antic. I think antics are okay in battle rap. I think in moderation, some people are more antic driven, and that's what makes them. That's what made them hot or pop. You know, like look at obviously a Daylight. All his antics, he could have not done the antics and still been dope, but all those antics made him the person he is today. Which like some people are like that. Look at
I didn't have a problem with all the
antics every time he hits that stage.
I didn't have a problem with every antic Daylight did. I had a problem with the naked shit. I had a fucking problem with the shitting on stage. You know, he's had a few I've had a problem with. I didn't have a problem with all of them. Like he showed up to a battle. I can't remember the name of the league. I don't know if it was Trap. I can't remember the name of the league. He showed up dressed like in an 80s suit with like a wig. He was combing his hair and all that was fine to me. I didn't have a problem with that. The naked shit and all that, I had a problem with all of that. Point is, of course, antics to a certain degree isn't, but yo, when a motherfucker break up, you rapping with somebody and he break a fake bottle over you.
Well, it was a prop bottle, and if the other guy felt a certain way, he could have just snuffed him and.
Visual, listen to what you're saying though.
No, this would have fucked shit up, but that's how you learn the hard way, right?
I agree with you. The reason why the dude who hit the guy with the bottle doesn't see anything wrong with it is because he spoke to the dude he hit with the bottle with afterwards and let him know the bottle was fake and it was all peaceful. Then he did a live with the guy, I think on Facebook, it was, and the guy was on there saying, oh, it's not a big deal. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? The dude hit you with a bottle, real or fake. You didn't know that shit was like, what the fuck? Having dudes picked a girl up to act like she was a gun, man. Like
I don't find that too extreme to that point where I'm gonna say, oh, look at this shit. Like it was part of the performance. It was an antique-y, yeah, I'm making words up. But it wasn't terrible. Like there's nothing to like spaz out or flip out about over it.
I'm not saying that. I'm making a comparison.
Even the throwing the cigarettes thing.
That was too much. That was crazy.
But the dude knew, and he was expecting something because he had trolled on another battle, so he was expecting to get trolled back. And see, there was already like some speculation, and if there wasn't, somebody would get snuffed.
Now, here's my thing. I'm not cool with the dude picking the chick up as a gun and all that. But when I compare that to homeboy hitting somebody with a bottle, of course, they're not the same. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the point, like, it's gone to the point where the views is what matters, or the viral moment is what matters the most. You know what I'm saying? And then people want to pick and choose when to throw out and talk that restore order shit. Like, yo, fam, you can't do that. And again, you know, because I don't want to keep repeating myself, but like I said, do we need order to be restored? Yes, but we can't pick and choose. And everybody actually has to get together.
Well, we can't police that way. We can't police the culture, or police ourselves that way.
In what way?
Like calling out those kinds of things, like the picking up the girl, even the QP thing. He shouldn't have done it. It was a bad look. But people drink on stage. That's a fucking, you know, you can bring it down a level, but you're still doing it. You can get pretty stupid on alcohol. It's not that big of a deal. People are going OD over everything. And the bigger battle rap gets, the more you're going to see these kinds of things. So you're going to have to ease up and accept some of this shit now, because it's only going to keep going. What do you think is going to stop because of a certain group of people say that restore order?
Now, to me, it's, in terms of what you said, there's a lot of people who think like you, but worse, and that's the problem. Because there are people who take the same premise that you had, but again, apply it to everything in battle rap. Therefore, they don't have a standing, if that makes sense. They're going to take your premise on what you're saying, some things aren't worse than others, and what you going to do? You're going to start banning everything?
That's why you can't.
Huh?
That's why you can't do that.
I agree, but what I'm saying is there's people who, that's the basis of what you're saying.
Right.
I'm saying I don't really have a problem with what you're saying. I'm saying there's people who take that same basis that you said and just amplify it. So to them, it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not until the day that they buy a ticket to go see their favorite, and he no-shows because he had alcohol poisoning the night before. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why that restore order shit, it won't gain traction. It won't ever really be a real thing, because people have exceptions, and that can't happen. That can't happen. Let's say right now, let's say some of the people I mentioned, the Eye Smokes and the rest of them, let's say they came out right now, the Rome's, who Rome did some sort of fucking blog apologizing, but then he did some fuck shit, which, whatever. Let's say these guys come out and admit what the fuck they did wrong, and then turn a new leaf. Well, then I will ease up on my stance on them when I start seeing their actions are different. Right now, let somebody get on right now, go on social media and ask Anthony about that money. I bet she blocks them. But let him come on and say, yo, you know what? That whole shit with the event, I fucked up on that. That was something separate than which I was donating, whatever the case. I fucked up on that, and now I got to find a way to make it right.
Well, there may or may not be one out there already.
But what did he make right? That's the point I'm trying to make, because then what happens? Right after that, you see him drunk on the channel, flipping and disrespecting his co-host. You understand what I'm saying? Like every time we sit there and give you some bullshit-ass apology, their actions don't live up to that. And then those are the same people who y'all allow to talk this restore order shit. That's why it don't make no fucking sense to me, man. The kind of person I am, I was raised in the fucking streets. There's consequences to everything you do.
Well, there's a lot of good that comes. If it was all bad, people wouldn't rock with him.
That's the problem, though, which was that thought. People will come out and say that shit all the time. It ain't all bad. It ain't all bad. Well, they ain't make up for what they did bad. So how the fuck can you say that?
I know, but it's still an entertaining figure to tune into. That never changes.
Well, that's why they always gonna be getting disrespected. That's why this restore order shit is never gonna gain no real traction. It's never gonna make no difference because of shit like that. Because people will always find a reason to give somebody a pass before they've atoned for their actions. And that is the main point that I want everybody to get from this conversation. All I'm saying, I am not saying Visual's wrong at all. Visual has the way he see it. I have the way I see it. And the way I see it is real fucking simple. If you don't take nothing else from this conversation, take this. In life, right now we're talking about battle rap, but in life, you can't let people continue to create the norm. If they normally do shit and then they could turn around at any time and give a fuck-ass apology and never have to atone for their actions, you know they're going to keep doing it. And it's your fucking fault then. It's your fault. So I don't want to hear none of this shit, honestly, because my heart tells me, yeah, restore order is very much needed. But my brain tells me this shit don't make no sense because everybody makes exceptions.
Well, have you supported the last 3 cards NJT has been on? Have you bought those cards?
Yeah. Yes. But here's the thing, though. It wasn't until that close combat situation happened that people started talking this restore order shit again. People weren't talking about it. They were just saying, oh, something got to give. Now, the reason why I purchased the close combat thing was because the owner, I interviewed the owner, and I realized he was a genuine fan, genuinely trying to do something good, not only for battle rap, but for his home state. I wanted to support Chilla Jones. I wanted to support Newborn, and I wanted to support Danger Zone. I wanted to support those guys, so I bought the shit. Honestly speaking, when it was all said and done, like, had that owner had told me it was New Jersey Twerk versus, again, fucking MC Bullet Holes, I wouldn't have bought that shit. I wouldn't have. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, in these current situations, unless he goes and sits down for a little while, if he does something, you know, let's say they have Summer Madness 8 next week. If he's on that shit, I am not buying it. I'm not. Press Mafia's on that shit, I'm not buying it. Anybody I know who's done some fuck shit and is known for doing some fuck shit, if they are on a pay-per-view right fucking now, I am not purchasing that shit. I'm not. I'm not buying a ticket to be in the building. Nothing. I'm not. I can't wait to hear what they're going to do with this King of the Decade shit.
But you're not going to go hashtag restore order.
No. Not doing it. Not for the near future, I'm not. And just because I want to be fair, right? I don't want to feel like I'm just calling out one person, even though I mentioned multiple people. And you know, some of these, it's gonna guarantee to be a handful of motherfuckers to literally still pick and choose one thing I said and point out one name I mentioned. But Piper Boy's another one who does that shit. It's the same dude who went in on Tay Rock's daughter and all kind of shit, and it's the same one out here talking about people with fucking no showing or people stealing deposits. Like how? Like it can't. And I understand, like, people like to watch these guys, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you not to watch somebody you want to watch. I understand, but the fact that you keep on supporting that person and they haven't atoned for their actions is why restore order's never gonna work. Yeah, I just had somebody in my mind who I want to fucking mention.
I think it can work if more muscle was used. I don't think there's enough reaching out.
My
Personal,
thing is,
personal hand, picking up the phone, making calls, having conversations, whether they be 5 minutes or a half hour or an hour with multiple people. Go down the list, spend a day or an afternoon, put all your numbers together and start making calls and start getting the feel of where people are coming from, if they agreed to be on board, disagree, and that way if they disagree, you get to see some of the other sides of things and get a clear understanding of it, you know.
no.
I think that's what if Swave and like Debo were the original ones and Danny Myers, start making those calls, man. Get everybody on board. If this is something truly that you want to do, don't expect any support from the top league because, you know, they're on their own time. They don't fuck with anybody's idea if it's not theirs, you know?
Yeah. I want to say, too, Visuel, especially that last point you just made, you made a lot of dope points as this conversation has went on. I think the last thing you said is probably the most profound. You know what I'm saying? I think everything you just said right now would kind of be the basis for what, if people really want to go that restore order thing, that will be, you understand? Like everything you just said would be the direction to start in, I would say.
Yeah, start with the battlers. Start hitting bloggers up and talking to them, because bloggers are a good momentum. They're a good like river in the fucking flow of things, you know, that's always active. And you can. I did a top 40 early in this year of bloggers, and I didn't even touch on all the bloggers. There's a lot of fucking content and media sources out there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's pretty much what introduced me to you. You know, that's pretty much how I met you. I want to also say too that restore order shit also has to, for the people who out here supporting people like Norbs, knowing all the fuck shit he's done, and to a lot of people, they think in their mind like, oh, that is the gateway into the URL, so they allow the fuckery. My thing to them is, all you people who even go in, and again, you can watch whoever you want, but I see people recently talking about that podcast he just put out. These are the same people who had an issue with shit that he just did to A-Board and a few other people, right? But then they want to go in and they like, oh, but this podcast is out. Can you see how, again, another example how that restore order shit won't work?
who are you talking about?
Sit here and had an issue with how he treated a lot of these up-and-coming guys, how the dude was on there fucking pretty much trying to get broads for tickets and shit like that.
Norbs.
But then y'all still support what he do over here because that's the entryway into URL. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you can't pick and choose, man.
Well, they've never cared how each one individually in the team moves. They've always moved their own way. Norb says whatever the fuck he wants, and anybody else on the company, you know, they all.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about just the company. I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about the people. These same people who were talking about, because there's so many people out there with the whole restore order, but then they like, oh, I'm going to fuck with this. Like, yo, hold on. That dude just went on a whole rant on social media disrespecting A-Ward on a ridiculous shit. Like, that's not part of it. But then y'all running over there to go listen to a fucking podcast. Like, yo, fam, like, are y'all not, like, this shit can't be one-sided, and it's not that's exactly how it's not gonna fucking work.
People are conditioned that it's not taken serious anyways.
Yeah.
Like, it's very unprofessional, and we're all conditioned to think that it's unprofessional. They run an unprofessional, and it not their business entirely, just their PR kind of like their.
Yeah, but again, Visual, that starts with the people though, because you as a person, if you have a problem with the no-shows and shit like that, and you talking about restore order right now, then you should have a problem with a dude involved with a league disrespecting guys because they're not on, because he can't profit off of them. So he get to get on there and disrespect him, and y'all still gonna support what he does. That's the point that I'm making. Forget what the rest of URL has to say about that. I'm talking about the people, the supporters of battle rap. That is another piece of Restore Order. And I don't see none of you we were the only ones who said something about that. Fuck out of here. Well, I mean, I don't know. If you don't have anything else to say on the topic, I've said all I have to say. I don't want to be redundant and I know I repeated myself a few times. I want to keep fucking doing it. So it's up to you. If you got something else to say on this topic, we can continue. But
I think the Restore Order is a great idea. I just think more muscle needs to be used. More, roll up your sleeves and start acting. Make those calls, get in communications, talk to the small-time league owners that are continuing to book these people that keep burning them. I don't know how you're a league anyways and just decide to throw shit and not really know the inner workings and have your ear to the ground on what's going on and who's these continued offenders are. You deserve to be burnt if you don't have that side of the information. Reach out to more bloggers.
That's a great point.
All league owners too.
That's a great point.
And the Restore Order, move it on to us. Yeah, I already tagged Swave. I said, I want to be a part of this shit. And you know what's gonna change? Nothing. No. If he was to say, you done, you're in. You know what'll change with me? Not much. Because this is how we roll anyways, right, Jay?
Pretty much. All the time.
Respectable. Well, not really always, but we're going to say whatever the hell we feel, and we're not going to hold back. And if I feel, which I have other times, stuff shouldn't be put out, feel free to say what you want. Maybe I'll make that executive decision when I'm editing and take it out, I'm sure there's some stuff Jay's said that I've just done clipped out left and right.
How you do me like that? See how you do me like that, man?
Hey, Jay be talking greasy. You don't even know. I be leaving shit out, boy. Some of y'all get your feelings hurt.
And I'm at the events.